Are we back? Oh, if we back on, then I need my theme music. I need my theme music.
Welcome to the house in the PR. Where if
We
you
back.
don't COSSLAYD. Welcome to the house in the PR. Where if you don't know, now you know.
You need exposure.
You hook up that bigger show. You knock on the door. Welcome to the house in the the PRC stars.
Hanging with the
boss lady. Hot spots and hot topics. You going off, baby. Hey, boss lady. Got the 411. Tell me what's happening. I just love a woman funded with a faded fashion. You were open in action, make you the main attraction. Like lights, camera, action. And go that start flashing. Hey, boss lady be everywhere. She loves events. Plus she represents the hood. Get you a glimpse. She got taste. She got grace. She's a boss. Who you think running this place? She speaks the truth. Hey, and supports the truth. Yeah. So fellas, don't just salute, jump up the deuce. Oh yeah, I'm Mr. Red, the underdog for show. Tell them to call.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Yeah.
It's the house of the cold.
Where the Jones turn the pros, where the flows turn the shows. Don't know, now you know. This is the house of the cold. Where the Jones turn the pros, where the flows turn the shows. Don't know, now you know. This is the house of the cold. Where the Jones turn the pros, where the flows turn the shows. Don't know, now you know. This is the house of the cold. Where the Jones turn the pros, where the flows turn the shows. Don't know,
Now you know. All right. Let's listen to this one too. We're gonna let this one roll. We got a conversation. House Nicole.
House Nicole, baby. That's on okay. God said, let us drink Nicole. It's House Nicole. Keep it locked.
Keep it locked.
Life is
Okay,
full.
okay. That's enough. That's enough. No commercials. I got time today. What's good, my people, my peeps? Let me say that first and foremost. What is good? How are you doing this evening? Okay. And for people elsewhere besides my time zone, good morning and good night. All right. Look here. I try to come and talk to you guys today, and they kept messing with my live, y'all. So I had to hop on here. I threw, I didn't want to come to the studio because I was telling you guys earlier today that I'm thinking of changing the name of this channel. But y'all hold tight because I want to see if this is actually broadcasting. This is the second time we are trying to do this. Earlier today that I'm okay. Good deal. Okay, so yeah. I had to come make me a fresh beverage with some fruit in it. It's a little fruit cocktail beverage. It is no non-alcoholic. We're gonna talk about being healthy. All of that. All of that. This is just open mic night. A story time. And I'm gonna get what I want to say out. Okay. I'm gonna say what I want to say. You hear me? Whoever is in control of shutting down these different, instruments that we use on a daily basis called cell phones. Okay, guys. So some of you guys may not have joined my live earlier today. I went live like maybe 3 times today. Crazy. So before I let me drink. This is just a fruit drink to freshen you up. Okay, guys, for me. Non-alcoholic. But anyway, yeah, I went live like 3 times a day. I'm just trying to tell you guys about a dream I had years ago. Also to talk about changing this channel's name. I play my theme song for you all. I actually have 2 theme songs. One is a hip hop song that I had when I used to go out and be called boss lady and interview a lot of. Ooh, this light is bright. interview celebrities and things of that nature. So now I have a theme song as well for like a R&B theme song, but they still say House of Nicole. And this channel I was considering changing the name of this channel based on where I want to take this channel, and also regarding a dream that I had for this channel. So what I want to do is I want to show you guys a picture, because I wind up finding a picture. Regarding the extraterrestrial being that was in my dream. Let me pull it up real quick. It kind of favors the being that I was trying to describe to you guys in my dream earlier today, before my live stream got cut off thrice. Uno, dos, tres. Yeah, thrice. I was dreaming that I was in outer space. Okay, guys. There was no spaceship. I was just in outer space. I could see the galaxies and everything, right? And this being appeared in front of me, but it was like see-through, it was the ether, but it was the outline of a human form, but I couldn't tell the gender nor the sex. So I found this picture, and I hope you guys can see. Can y'all see this picture? I found this picture online today. Yeah. And this is like what the being looked like, okay, guys? But it was in space, so it was black, but it was like this. It was like see-through. No particular gender that could be described, just a humanoid figure. So this being appeared in front of me, and it was just like black, the night sky, ether, clear, dark night sky, space. And so it began to go up and down its chest, right? So I thought it was, at the time, I thought it was my grandmother who had. You see how they do? They try to do it now, y'all. No, hello? Get off my line, please. Get off my line. That's so funny. That is so funny. They kept doing that today. So let me check and see if we still on. They are a trip. Haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate. No, hello? Get off my line, please. Get off my line. Haters gonna hate. Y'all see how they try to shut the live down again? That's what they kept doing today. Calling with a spam number. So where did this number come from that they just tried to do again? They just tried to call and shut the live down again. Hold on, let me see. Let me see where that number. Hillsboro. They used the Texas number. Earlier, they used the Arizona number. Child, they used, let me see, PA, Pennsylvania. They used all kind of numbers to shut the live down. It's amazing. That's why I said they're weird. These people, these non-humans, these organic portals are very strange beings indeed. So anyway, I'm going to continue with the live and the story time that I tried to tell you guys several times a day, and I'm going to get it out today. So like I said, this being, I had a dream. I was in space and this being appeared right here, something like this. Okay, guys. No form, no gender, just the form of a human. Okay. And it didn't speak. It just motioned up and down its chest. And I looked in the chest. And then all of a sudden I seen just billions of stars, all throughout its body. Because then I could see the whole figure. And it had billions of stars in its body. Now, I had told my mom this dream, and now, but I'm thinking back, and it seems like I came on live a while back when I was talking about dreams a few years ago and mentioned this dream, but I can't recall for sure. But anyway, but I definitely told my mom about this dream because I thought, at the time that it was her mother who had passed away from breast cancer because the uh, extraterrestrial motion to its chest, right? So many years have passed, and I have come to understand and interpret my dreams better. And I know that that wasn't her mother trying to communicate with me. And we know that when you go to sleep, that you're going into the dream world, the dream realm, right? And this reality, this matrix is just false. It's pretend. Okay, it's make believe. But the real world that you enter is your dream state, the spiritual realm. And so sometimes if you dream and you dream about relatives that passed away or relatives that you knew to have passed away, when they appear to you in your dream state, most likely that is a masquerading spirit trying to masquerade and pretend that it is someone who has passed away that but it's actually trying to get you to come into some kind of contractual agreement with them within the dream state. And if you don't know about fighting that and different, there's levels to this. It can be very detrimental to you. So, but nevertheless, this was not anyone that I knew. It was a form. It had a form of a humanoid. And so I thought about Joseph. That's what I was going to tell you guys. I thought about Joseph and his story in the Bible, where he had the coat of many colors. You all know that story. And he had brothers, and his brothers were jealous of him, right? And when Joseph was young, he had dreams, but at that time, he did not know how to interpret his dreams. Um, but he had a particular dream, and his dream helped me to understand and helped me to interpret my dreams. So, if you're having dreams that you need to interpret, it's best to go to the Bible first for symbolism to help you to understand your dream and what you're actually viewing in your dream and the symbolism that is coming up in your dream. Okay. So let me go back to Joseph. Joseph was a young guy, young boy, and his father actually favored him. And his brothers were jealous of Joseph. And so one night, Joseph happened to have a dream. And he went to his brothers first and told his brothers of his dream. He told his brothers, he had a dream that the sun and the moon and the stars bowed down to him. Okay, in this dream. And so when he told his brothers his dream, now see, the thing is, when he told his brothers, excuse me, when he told his brothers the dream, the brothers got so upset, and that they interpreted the dream for him at the time, and instead of being impressed with their gift of interpretation, they were so upset. They were like, "What do you mean you had a dream of the sun, the moon, and the stars, and they all bowed down to you? What are you telling us that we're gonna bow down to you?" And so Joseph didn't know what the dream meant at the time, right? And so they were so furious that they took Joseph to his father, and they told Joseph, tell our father your dream. And so Joseph told his father, well, he had a dream that the sun, the moon, and the stars would bow down to him. And so his father, although Joseph was his favorite, he had, a little favoritism going on towards Joseph. His father was like, Joseph, What do you mean that the sun, the moon, and the stars will bow down to you? His father could interpret dreams as well because his father says, do you mean that I, the sun, because he would represent the sun, and the mother, his mother, would represent the moon? So Joseph's father was like, so Joseph, you're telling me that I, your father, and your mother, and your brothers who would be in the stars, would bow down and worship you? And so his father got upset, right? And Joseph was like, just tell him the dream, of what he had. No interpretation, but they had interpreted the dream, not unknowing to themselves, right? So fast forward, Joseph's brothers are, like I said, they're jealous of Joseph. They try to beat him up, throw him in a well. They wanted to kill him. I mean, they were really jealous of Joseph. And jealousy, we know, is very dangerous because we've heard of the story of the young lady, that went over to Mexico with her friends and got, her friends took her life, right? Of Out of jealousy, and more is coming out about that story. But jealousy is very dangerous, and these are his family members. So one of his brothers, because all of them, they plotted and they were like, well, let's kill him, because they had already threw him in a well, a hole in the desert. And one of his brothers was like, no, let's just sell him off into slavery to the Egyptians. At the time, the Egyptians ruled, right? And so that's what they did. And they took his coat that his father had gave him because he was the favorite, and his father had made this coat of many colors, and presented it to Joseph. They had took that particular garment from Joseph, got it bloody by a beast that they had killed, and took it to his father to make it look like Joseph had got killed in the field. Okay. But meanwhile, they knew they had sold their brother into slavery. Now, Joseph's story is, I don't want to be long winded with this, but the short of the story is Joseph rose to fame in Egypt. Okay. And he rose to fame because as he got older, he began to be able to interpret dreams. And he interpreted dreams of two of Pharaoh's servants, a baker and I can't, a scribe or something along those lines, who were thrown in jail along with Joseph. He was in prison when he interpreted some dreams that two of the top servants of the Pharaoh had, thrown in jail along with Joseph. And these servants had came to Joseph, and they were like, oh my gosh, I had this crazy dream last night. And they told Joseph their dreams, and Joseph interpreted their dreams. And lo and behold, the servants of the Pharaoh, they were able to get released from prison, but Joseph was still in the pits of prison. He's like, well, can you tell the Pharaoh, that I have interpreted your dreams? Remember me when you go. And they were like, yeah, yeah, sure, sure, we'll remember you. You know how people do. They come up on the good, or they was down on their luck. They hanging out in prison. They all good. They your boys. They your girls. And you help them out when they down on their luck. But then they get their break and they get to go back to in the palace with the Pharaoh. Now, one of the servants was kind of pissed at Joseph because his interpretation was not very good, because he was told that he was going to die. The Pharaoh was going to execute him. And then the baker, his interpretation of his dream was good. But they got out of prison and forgot all about Joseph. You see how people do you? Forgot all about Joseph. But the Pharaoh had a dream. He had a nightmare. And he needed interpretation of this dream. And he knew that the people, his servants, was giving him the runaround, the BS. It wasn't on the level. They didn't know how to interpret this dream. They was just giving him the okie dokie, okay? And the baker and the scribe remembered that Joseph, who still was in prison, knew how to interpret dreams. And so they sent for Joseph, and Joseph interpreted the dreams. Now, we all know what the dream was. Maybe we all don't know. Goodness, this is getting long for me to tell you about my dream, but I got to go down this road. Okay. So Joseph gets out of prison, and he goes to Pharaoh. Now we're all in this time, and I mean it's perfect for the time that we're in, right? This dream that Joseph is about to interpret for Pharaoh, because Pharaoh wakes up. I mean, he in night sweats from this dream, because one minute he sees these fatted cows, they're grazing, eating, living large. These cows are, healthy, thick. But then these skinny cows come up, and they devour the fatted cows. These little, I mean, malnutrition cows just devour the fat cows. And same he saw with some wheat that came up and was diminished. Okay, so Joseph told the Pharaoh, well, uh, you're going to have so many years of just living high on the hog. Well, I don't want to say hog because we don't eat pork. We don't do the pork. But you're going to have so many years of just great wealth and abundance, and it's going to be lovely for you. But then you're going to have like 7 years of famine that's going to come upon the land. And that is what the skinny cows meant when they ate up the fatted cows. And so the Pharaoh is like, oh my gosh, he's just amazed, because he's like, okay, you're my right hand man. Anything, go to Joseph first. Don't come to me. Joseph gonna run the city. You got the keys to the city, Joseph. He's the man. Whatever Joseph says goes. Okay? I don't want to hear unless something cannot be resolved. But Joseph's got this on lock. Okay? You have to understand this story, because the prophecy within the dream that Joseph had when he was a little boy is coming to pass. You see, when Joseph was the little boy, he said he saw the sun, the moon, and the stars bow down to him. The famine struck across the land, like Joseph said. But while Joseph had rose to prominence in the land over Egypt, he told the people of Egypt and the surrounding cities, the surrounding lands, that this famine was coming. So they were to sow, and take half of what they sowed and what they reaped, their grains, and put some in a storage house, and then they would eat some. Some people might have been hard-headed, because just like us nowadays, we tell you guys things are coming this way. People forewarn you, people have premonitions, people have insight. I mean, and you try to tell your families about what is to come, and some people, they just don't listen to you. So Joseph, he telling the people of the land, you're going to plant, you're going to eat some, and you're going to save. Okay. And so he has these great big storage houses full of grain. Some people in the outer cities, the outer countries, states, if you will, they didn't have any grain. Some of their grain rotted. Some of them did not save up. Okay. So they had the so many years of lush living, like all of us in the United Snakes of America have had the lush livings of this matrix, this false reality. Some of us live lush and large. And some of us haven't, because of our mindset, but that's dealings for another day. Hello. For a targeted girl, you're doing it great. Let me put you up here. Great. And look how nice you set up. Your setup is. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm chosen. I choose to call myself chosen. I'm a chosen one, but I do get all of the degrees of targeting. And that truly is also found in the Bible. So Joseph uh tells everybody, get ready, because here it comes. You know what I'm saying? And the famine has struck the land. And it has struck not only Egypt, it has struck all the way down to Joseph's hometown. His hometown, I mean, people are dying. His father, Joseph's father, is rich because we come from Abraham. Yeah, Abraham is his father. If I'm wrong, y'all correct me. Yes, Abraham, because he had all the children. Father Abraham had many sons. Okay. Um, so Abraham tells his other sons that are left in, because back then that's how it went down. You were there helping the family grow. You was a team. You making it happen. Why is my chair? You making it happen. He's like, look, I'm gonna need you guys, you boys, you men, to go to Egypt. Here's some money, because he's rich, remember. And go buy some grain from the Pharaoh. But don't go, okay, like the city has its gates, it's surrounded. This is how they protect themselves. But they have different gates, just like heaven will have different gates for the different tribes to enter into different gates into the city. Okay, he tells his son, he gave them a game plan. When you get to Egypt and enter into the gates, do not go into the same gate. There are different gates. Go into this different gates around the city, okay? We don't want to draw any attention to ourselves or to you, because he's sending his sons off, okay? They cool. They got the instructions. They head to Egypt. Now, Joseph is rich too now. He's the right-hand man to Pharaoh. But Joseph is Hebrew. Okay, so you can't, sometimes you are in places that you might not be of the same people, but God put you in places because he about to help move things for his benefit, God's benefit, not yours, not the people who think that you shouldn't be somewhere. God's benefit for his work, for the glorified God, the Most High God. Okay, so his brothers make it to the land, and they enter into the separate gates. Now Joseph ain't no Joseph. He been around. He got folks at the gate watching. His people come back, report the daily activities. They debrief him of what has happened within the city, out of the city. He says some men came. They look, because we as people, somebody from New York City, they got a different swag to them, right? Yeah, they got different swag. They ma, how you doing, ma? you know, you got your Puerto Rican girl, the poppy. They got a different swag. You got some Italians down there, but they swag is different. So if they was to come to Texas and be like, yeah, on the one, or well, some of their little slangs they say, I would know that they not from Texas. Because I might say, what y'all doing? Y'all, we have different dialects, they might be minute, but they're different from the region that you live in. So when these people went back to report of their daily duties, they change in shifts, right? And they report to Joseph and say, yeah, some men came into the cities, but they came into different gates of the city. But I knew they was from New York. Coming in, they had too much swag about them. Well, wait a minute. They might have been from Texas. They was like already, because that's a slang that we use. Already, you know, they from Texas. Yeah. But they came in the different gates around the city, but they all the same people. They look different. They tried to fool us coming into the different gates. Joseph said, really? Tell me more. They were like, and they had some money. They was asking about buying grain. I think they're spies, his men says. Joseph is like, what? Bring these men to me. They from Texas. Joseph, when he heard Texas, he was like, dang, I'm from Texas. Bring these men to me. They have a dinner. They come into the dining hall. Joseph knew him right away, although he was sold into slavery as a little boy, you see. But he's been amongst the Pharaoh and he's learned the language of the land. But he knows his slang. He knows his language. He knows his language. So his brothers, they're talking in Hebrew amongst themselves. They scared, they shaking in their boots. Joseph, look, he's sitting on a throne. He rich. He looking at him. Heart hurting. He wants to just run up and hug him. Although they did him dirty. I mean dirty. He feeds them, he wines and dines them. And he asked them, are they, why they come into the city through these different gates? Are you spying on us? No, we're not. We're not. But Joseph has a plot, you see. One of the brothers are missing, a younger brother. And Joseph wants to see the family as well, you see. He says, go, here's some grain. Go home, return to your family. And here's the money for your grain. No worries. We all Gucci. We good. Okay? But he tells his servants to put the money back into their bags and some of the silverware from the dinner before, from the night before. And let them proceed out of the gates the next day. But they didn't make it far. They didn't make it too far. It was a setup. They get to the city gates and get halted, and they come back in. They get drugged back in. They are accused of stealing from the Pharaoh, because see, Joseph is in place of the Pharaoh. He's the right hand man. He is like the Pharaoh. They get accused of stealing. Joseph throws them into prison. Send some of them on. Go get your father and the young one. I want the young one to come. Go get that younger brother. Bring him back to me. I want to see him too. Joseph wants a family reunion, but he ain't telling them he wants to see his family. Oh, they devastated. Some of the brothers is in jail. Some of them, they traveled back, and the father Abraham, he like, what happened? They like, Daddy, Father. They break it down. They want the youngest one to come back. Oh, heck no. When he sent Joseph out to the land, to the fields with you got Joseph killed. So he wasn't letting the young one go. Oh, he just, oh no, No, he couldn't. He said he would die right then and there if something was to happen to the younger brother, the other brother. Abraham is like, oh, heck to the no. Pack it up. We all going. Down to Egypt. Okay, let's roll out. They pack them camels up. They roll out because he's not letting the younger one go, but he got to go see about the other brothers. That's the heritage, right? They all roll up to Egypt. They talking. Oh, Joseph see him. He hear him talking in they native language. He breaking down. He was like, he just couldn't help himself. He's like, already. They like, oh my God, are you from Texas? He speaks their language, right? And they bow down to him. He says, I'm your brother, Joseph. They are startled and amazed. because he doesn't look the same. He's a man now, a grown man, a man they had forgot about. They all run and reunite. Reunited because it feels so good. But his dream was prophecy. His dream that he had has come to pass. You see, when he was a young boy, he foretold of this very moment. The sun, his father, the moon, his mother, and the stars, his brothers, family, would bow down to him. That very prophecy, that very dream that he had, that his brothers and his father was so gifted of interpretation, but was blinded by jealousy, rage, for a youngster to foretell that they would bow down in his presence. And it came to pass. So your dreams are very important, you see. The spirit realm you have entered. Some dreams are precise. Some dreams, when you enter into the spirit realm, are more, they have more symbolism than being played out like a movie, step by step. So it is a gift to be able to interpret dreams as well, you see. And well, I know that I have been a dreamer since I was a youngster, a youngster. But the interpretation of my dreams I did not develop until I got older. Hello, Tanya. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. You know, guys, I will sing a movie or TV show theme song or so you just have to forgive me. That's just part of my personality. But welcome back, Tanya. Um, so I've been a dreamer ever since I was a youngster, and so the interpretations of dreaming, uh, my development of it came later. Um, I used to draw pictures, not write them out. Like some people are wordsmiths, right? They can, I mean, they can massage those words so well that you can fall in love or you can hate somebody just by the words they put together. Wordsmiths. I'm not so much a wordsmith. I'm more of a visual type person, right? So I had a dream book and I would draw what I seen in my dreams when I was in the apartment. But the dream started coming to fruition and I got spooked. This is just juice. Watermelon with some blueberries, guys. Non-alcoholic. So give me a minute. I got a little spooked. Okay? And I took the dream book and I drove it around town first. Then I found the dumpster and I threw it into the dumpster. Some of the dreams, although I may have thrown the book into the dumpster, I still remember them vividly because they were vivid dreams. And today, I tried to explain a dream to you all that I had a while back. that I thought when I dreamt of being in space, not in a spacecraft, but being in space. I could see planets, stars, but a being appeared in front of me. Ether being, it was black like space. It had no eyes. It looked like this, but not white. Imagine a being like this, but black, like space, appeared in front of me. And this being, at the time, I thought it was my grandmother, just by feelings. And I'm big on feelings and picking up spiritual, how can I say, spirits, your spirit. And so the being went up and down like this. My grandmother passed away of breast cancer. So I'm thinking, which was a beautiful woman. Matter of fact, I think I should share her picture in a few minutes tonight. Went up and down. I never met her. Just know her by her picture. Hold on for a minute. Um, I just know her by her picture. This is my grandmother. Beautiful woman. Matter of fact, I always like leopard print because I saw this as a young girl, this leopard print. And I actually, when I was young, I got a tattoo of leopard print on my back because of this. And I think I fell in love with this picture. I never met my grandmother, but I thought that's who it was. But her face never showed. It was just this being. And when it did like this, all of a sudden my eyes, they were directed to the chest of this being. And I seen stars. Billions upon billions upon billions of stars. They filled the whole entire being of this celestial entity. Now, at the time, I told my mother, and I may have come on here and told this to you all before, I can't really recall if I went into detail like tonight. But I was saying that I wanted to change. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, I wanted to change the channel, my channel's name. Um, because that dream I had many years ago, but it recently kept coming back into my mind. And finding out after that dream of who I am as a person walking within this matrix, knowing that I am Israel, um, and knowing of the story of Joseph. And I brought that story in particular to this conversation because of the celestial symbolism of his first dream that he interpreted, which helped me to interpret my dream. of this celestial being that I saw right here, filled with stars upon stars upon stars. When Joseph's brothers first interpreted his dream, then his father interpreted his dream. The son was represented by a male figure, right? So when interpreting dreams, you would know that the son is represented as a male. And the father said, "You think that I will bow down to you?" Because he knew instantly that he was a representation of the sun in the sky, the celestial sun. And his father said, "Oh, and do you think that your mother who pushed you out, who birthed you, who carried you for 9 months, will bow down to you?" Because he said, "The moon." So, in representation symbolism, we know that the moon symbolizes the woman. And we know that from cycles, our menses and our periods are on cycles of the moon represents the woman. And he said, his father, "And your brothers will bow down to you as well." These are other family members. The stars. The stars are going to bow down to you? What do you mean by this, Joseph? So this interpretation helped me, and it can help you if you're having dreams with it, with presents symbols to you. The celestial ether being, because it was dark ether, let there be light, because these bodies of ether that we are in possess light inside of them. We are just the brightness of light. So the ether being, I cannot tell you who would want to contact me within the spiritual realm that night and show me all of the stars within itself. But there were billions. There were billions upon billions of stars. It was if when the celestial ether being did like this and I looked in, it was as if I was drawn in to see billions and billions of stars, not like our night sky. We might see a star here, a star there, a, a fairly good amount of stars, but not billions of stars. So it had me thinking, these stars, let me say, unfortunately, I'm just kidding, they didn't bow down to me. No, 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 no. It wasn't on that magnitude. It wasn't on that scale. They weren't bowing down to me. It was more of welcoming me into a new star system, into a new family. This is my interpretation of that dream. The ether being, by communicating, like I said before, 99.9% of communication is body language. So I knew it was communicating with me. wanted me to see my people. So this is why, and this is one of the reasons that I'm considering changing my name here on this platform and elevating this platform and moving it. And I've mentioned this before, down the path to my people, my people, my peeps. Because of that dream playing in my head over and over again. And that is what I was trying to tell you all earlier today, but they kept cutting the audio on my live stream. But like I said in this title, I have time today, tonight, and this morning, wherever you are, because this message in this dream is going to get out there and it's going to come into fruition of whatever the Most High, wherever He's leading me. I can guarantee you, He's leading me to my people. I've always come on and said, opening up, what's good, my people, my peeps. And I will continue saying that until otherwise directed not to. But I got that from a movie a long time ago, and I liked it because it addressed basically everyone. Some of you guys are my people, some of you guys are my peeps. But I think it's fitting where this journey is about to take me. And I hope that you all stay around and build with me. And maybe this might be part of your journey as well. So I have finally been able to speak my piece. I bid you adieu. Good night and much, much love to you all.